Bunny's back. Bunny's been back for years. It's been like 2 years, 3 years. It's been back for a while. Yeah. And let's just saying back in form. True. Like, Bunny has been like in the middle of the pack for a while. So it's great to see him excel here and pop off. And here we go, spawning in the bottom hand corner of Incorporeal, we have our South Korean Terran player. We have our blue Terran representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Oh no. Bunny's back's a furry. You're an animal, Solens. You're an animal. God damn. Let's go. Hero is old news. Hero with a capital H is old news. It's been a long time since he's competed in StarCraft. I want to say he competed a little bit in Legacy. A little bit. Been a while. This is Hero with a lowercase h. Feels Hero, man. As of now, we're settling in. We're going to be settling in. Double gas opener out of Bunny. Classic, he is denied the scout, so Classic is in the dark. From here, Classic, for all he knows, there could be a CC. There could be a CC further back in the main. It could be one hidden here, or there could be a factory on the way. Classic is in the dark. So cheeky start here from Bunny. Now with a double gas opener, it means a faster factory, it means a faster tech. From here we can go into reactor, which we're not seeing, but we could go reactor into reactor Reaper Hellion. We could go for the early tech lab into an add-on swap into Cyclone. We could open up with a tech lab into Cyclone drop, or even towards Banshee play. Of course, Bunny should still be expanding, but regardless, very tech heavy, and we'll keep an eye on the add-ons and on the factory. Naming oneself hero is a bit on the nose. I mean, there's a lot of heroes. There's ex-Liquid hero, there's ex-CJ hero, there's the Brood War hero, and I want to say there's another hero as well. But thankfully, all the heroes, they all have different, I guess, different spellings, or they have different capitalizations. Thankfully. To help distinguish one from the other, at least a little bit. It also helps that the Brood War hero is Zerg, not Protoss. That also helps. Yeah, we got Hero Marine as well. True. Oh, the heroes. So we are settling in. So far, we have our Twilight Council opener as our tech of choice from the side of Classic. Likewise, Hallucination does move out across the map, and Classic, he will see everything. He will confirm the 1-on-1. More importantly, he sees the add-ons as well, so he confirms that there are no... He confirms the Marine, so he confirms there's no Reactor Reaper Hellion. Likewise, gets eyes on the Cyclone. Yep, does confirm. So now he's aware. Now he's aware of the double gas. Behind this, throwing down 2 gates, so again, 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink, has a safety shield battery as well. Is lacking some SimCity here, but with the help of the force field, with the help of the army, like he would be safe for any kind of dive. And here comes the initial drop. So Cyclone Marine drop. Behind this, ooh, no add-on swap on the tech lab from the starport, so no Banshee. No Banshee, no Raven. It is going for faster Marine production, faster stim. Interesting. So much faster stim here out of Bunny. As does rotate over. Classic does take his gases, so Classic, he delays his third. And again, if you've been watching PvT as of late, then you will know this has become the more standard style. There's been a lot of discussion around the TVP meta as of late, and I've been trying to remind people, because a lot of people have been talking about how, like, oh, there's been like so many all-ins in TVP as of late, and there's just nothing but all-ins and Protoss are dying. Well, if you've been watching over the past month of play, especially the Korean scene, so players like Classic, Zan, Hero, and Creator, this has been more common. Nowadays, it is rare to go for a 2-gate opener, 2-gate blink into a third. That you almost never see. You almost never see 2-gate blink anymore. Now it's all about 3-gate openers and even delaying your third a little bit longer so you are prepared for 2 base all-ins, because they've been so popular, because they've been so trendy. Like, these openers have become more normal now as you delay your third. So delayed third base out of Classic. And as these more safer openers and safer builds become more normalized, then I would imagine 2 base all-ins from Terran will die down and the meta will shift again, just as, you know, this becomes more standard and more common as Classic does move out. But again, you would have noticed this trend in the finals of GSL Season 1 between Hero and Cure, also in the EWC qualifiers, and at DreamHack Dallas. Oh. So these safer openers have become more standard. Meanwhile, from the side of Bunny, Stim is almost done, and we're going for a 2-base all-in. We're going for the 2-base all-in. Diving in, sniping a tank. Very nice. Tank goes down. Stim, no shot. Oh, okay, Stim is exposed, and thankfully doesn't snipe Stim. Bunny, he commits across the map. The boys are being pulled, and Classic is not in position back at home. Despite the safe opener, is he ready for this? We have all the shield batteries on the way. He can always recall as well. Again, does cripple the production. But we need the army back at home to defend. That's what matters here. There's a recall. There's a recall back home. Feedback on the medevac. Does get the feedback. Tanks, they're getting within range of the shield batteries. Yeah, Bunny's in position. He's in position. He will break down this front door. Depowers everything. Oh, the Immortal. The Immortal's not going to pop out. Yeah, the Immortal does not pop. And with that, Bunny, he's doing it. He's doing it. Again, that's 2 gateways and the Robo depowered. Again, Classic harassing across the map was nice and all, but he failed to slow this down. He wasn't able to slow this down, wasn't able to buy any time. Bunny, he just sent it across the map anyway. And with that, it takes down the gate and takes down the natural. Like, there's no protecting this. There's no saving the natural base. Classic getting ready for this round. I do appreciate that he's being patient. So Classic, he has to be patient here. Again, the natural doesn't matter. Here we go. Comes from behind. Dives on the army. There's not enough Stalkers here. Not enough Stalkers. He cannot focus down the tank. And Bunny, he will break through. He will break through. Nice control. Saves the tank. Does save the tank. Does break the natural. And Classic, I would argue, maybe pushing a little bit too soon. And with that, he's down to 1 Zealot. Down to 0 Zealots. GG gets called. And Bunny takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played, Bunny. He does take the game. Again, Classic, I want to give credit to Classic when it comes to his build. I do think that his build, his opener, was solid, was on point, but it came down to the execution. Again, Classic, I mean, I think it was a great job for him to catch the tank as it was coming out of the production, but he did spend and did, I would say, waste a lot of time killing SCVs in the main. Whereas instead, there's a lot of value when it comes to engaging with the army ahead of time, especially with Blink Stalkers, to pick off SCVs, pick off Marines, ideally force the siege early, buy time for the shield batteries to finish. Remember, by the time that Bunny got across the map, there were 3 shield batteries on the way. They weren't done. The shield batteries were not done. Classic could not make a stand at his natural. GG. GG, well played. Also credit to Bunny, because he didn't flinch. The Stalkers blinked into the main, and he's like, let's go. Like, send it across. He just ignored it. He just ignored it. He committed across the map. He knew what he needed to do to catch Classic off guard. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game 2. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran, representing Team Falcons, leading the series 1-0. It is Bunny. And spawning in the bottom right, in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss, despite his preparation, still was not able to survive against the all-in. We'll see if he can adjust here and hunker down and force the ace match. It is a Classic for Virtus Pro. Let's go. Let us go. Is it more standard these days to win Sentry before Twilight Council? Yes, yes. Especially because if you remember Classic, his Probe Scout was denied, so he did need that Sentry to hallucinate to scout. And again, like, I feel like Classic, his opener, his build itself was solid. It was solid. He saw everything. He knew it was an all-in. He saw it ahead of time. But he wasn't able to slow it down. In a way, you could argue he got baited, right? He got baited by the main base. Maybe if he was able to get Stim, like, that would have been worth it. But, again, he just spent a lot of time in the main killing SCVs. And with that, it was caught out. It was caught out. And this time, economic opener. Okay, so we're slowing things down. Now, when it comes to our build, when it comes to our map, welcome one and all to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps in the map pool, so this does make the most sense. I do expect to see these kind of openers out of Bunny on Tokamak, on Maganatha as well, just because they're not really too conducive here to all-ins. I say that, there's some Terran players that, regardless of the map, they'll go all-in anyway, but it is going to be a little bit more difficult to pull off. Regardless, Classic, he saw the faster CC, so he knows that early on he's safe. So from here, we're going to be opening up Adept. The goal of the Adept is to get across the map and to delay the command center. Ideally, shade in, shade past the safety bunker, and pick off the SCV, assuming that would be a safety bunker. So yeah, Adept into Stalker. Now, because of this more economic start, this is where Classic could go 2-gate blink. He could go 2-gate blink into a faster third. Classic has the option to cut corners here. It's still risky in the current meta, because this can still turn into a 2-base all-in, by the way. Like, 100%. Like, this does not mean that we're getting into a third and we're getting into a longer game. It just means that the opener is less aggressive. As Adept does shade past. And can we delay the CC? Oh, dives in the SCV. Does dive in. Good reaction here. Nicely done. Saving the worker. Diving into the bunker. Does dive in. Finishes the command center. Again, the building bunker SCV did finish it up instead. This was very clean. Very clean here from Bunny. Well done. Shuts down the Adept. His CC is not delayed. And from here, we're settling in. Now, what kind of follow-up do we have here? So far, Blink. So Twilight Council to Blink. We have 2 gateways to begin with. We'll see if we go 2-gate Blink into a third, or if we throw down extra gateways. Probe is moving out. Hellion is here to scout. And Classic looks like he does want to expand. Behind this, we're going for the add-on swap. So Tech Lab into add-on swap. It was Hellion, no Cyclone this time, into Cloak Banshee. Oh boy. So fast Cloak Banshee here out of Bunny. And Classic, he should confirm this. He hasn't seen it yet, but he's got the Sentry, and he will soon have Hallucination, and he should get eyes on the researching Tech Lab. That should happen. Obviously, there's a world where these Marines deny the Scouts, right? There's a chance here that the Marines, they could catch a Hallucination and deny vision from Classic. So we'll see if Bunny can pull that off. As here comes that Hallucination. It's coming from the right-hand side. And here, there's nothing in position, so Classic, he should get the Scatter. Depending on where we go, where we head. Behind this, again, did go into his third base. We now have a Gateway Explosion, getting up to a 4-gate setup. So it's 2-gate Blink into a third. Does poke in, and does confirm. There we go, does confirm the tech. Does get eyes on Cloak. Now with this, you should be getting in position. Cloak Banshees, they can pose a great threat here to the economy. So behind this, observers are amassing. They're getting in position. Bunny does move out across the map. Now what's important here, Bunny, he knows he got scattered. So what does he do? He's not harassing. He's not harassing so far. The Banshees are going to be moving out with the main army. They're moving out together. From here, we could pull the boys. We do have our 3 racks set up. Do we have stim? I believe we don't. Yeah, no stim. No stim. So all the DPS comes from the tanks, comes from the Banshees. The Marines are just here to buffer. And a couple of boys are being pulled. We're sneaking up on the third. Classic charge is not ready. He does have Link. Dives in. Yeah, he gets the tank. He does get the tank. Nice pickup. And without the tank, there's nothing here. Yeah, there's just nothing here. Second tank a little bit too late. Now getting in position. Zoning back the army. Does snipe the sentry. Sentry does go down. Bunker's on the way, but now there's only one tank. If there were two, he could actually push forward and get within range of the Nexus. And the longer this goes on, the easier it's going to be here for Classic to clean this up. As he's coming in from behind. He gets a tank. Once again, gets a tank. Tank goes down, massive pickoff, and but he has to get the hell out of here. Yeah, he has to get out. He has to leave. Leaves out more Marines. And this time, Classic, he holds. He does hold. Not just hold, he might just surround the entire army. Charge is now done. And there's no medevacs. No medevacs. He cannot save the tank. Tank goes down. Ay, ay, ay. And Bunny, he will lose everything. He will lose everything here. He cannot escape. There's detection for the Banshee. Runs out of cloak anyway. And Bunny has nothing. Bunny, he has a bunker. He has one tank. He has 3 Marines. Classic playing it safe. Ooh, does force a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. Denies the third. And with the help of that Immortal, yeah, he can break through. He can break through, takes down the tank, takes down the bunker. There's one tank on the high ground. But even then, it can be targeted once again. Nice kiting here from Classic. Does kite back. More Zealots rallying across the map. Now there's no bunker. Now this position is even weaker. And Classic, he can once again look to break this. Can break this. Now he's pulling away, getting a fourth base, building up towards Colossus. Classic just securing himself. Now we do see Bunny up to 2 tanks. And Bunny's in a rough position here. Oh, nice force fields. Very nice. Catching out, what, 3-4 Marines. Drop into the main. Bunny, he just doesn't have the supply to defend. And he has to hold here without tanks. As tanks, they get targeted down. They both fall. GG gets called, and Classic ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, this time it was a less committed build here by Bunny. It was a little bit weaker. Again, he did hit with less Marines. He did hit with tanks and Banshees instead. But Classic was able to scatter ahead of time and able to engage ahead of time as well. He was able to catch out the first tank, able to get this around, catch reinforcements, and this time a much cleaner defense here by Classic. GG. GG, well played. Of course, this was less of a committed push, but at the same time, he at least saw it ahead of time and he was able to get this around, catch out the army. GG. GG, well played. Unfortunately, again, if he had maybe delayed his push a little bit longer, just to wait for that second tank, just to push him with 2, he might have had a little bit more success when it came to threatening the third. But last, he was just kind of picked apart there. One tank, then the other. And with that, we're now getting into the ace match and spawning into the top left-hand corner of a pylon. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, representing Virtus Pro, tying up the series 1-1. It is Classic. And again, I would imagine that this time he is going to be a lot more aware and a lot more careful about these all-ins. He was caught out once in game 1, and the reason why I bring this up, welcome to Pylon. Pylon is very common for all-ins. This is a much smaller map, smaller than Tokamak, smaller than, well, I want to say it's comparable to Ultra, but the rush distance by ground is quite short, and all-ins are favored. All-ins are favored. The rush distance by ground is also very direct. There's no high ground advantage here at the natural or at the third locations, and yeah, almost immediately here, double gas here. Double gas opener makes plenty of sense. Faster factory. We're expecting aggression here out of Bunny. As he does poke in. I like how this time Bunny doesn't even try to hide, doesn't even try to wall off. Like, nah, we all know what's gonna happen. As both gases are spotted, Classic is aware. And we'll see how safe he plays this time. Again, I'll be honest, I'm expecting to see Classic go for the same opener he went for in game 1, to see like a 3-gate opener, gases at the natural, robo before third. That would make the most sense here. Now, there are some Protoss players that do blindly open Charge. Like, Charge is another viable option here for Classic instead of Blink, where that's a good way to shut down tank-based all-ins if you can like try to read that from your opponent. Another option here is a Robo Opener. Robo Openers do allow for early Immortals, which are also built to break bunkers and break tanks as well, to get into early Immortal production. I would say that on a map as small as this, it would be risky to go for Immortals, just because it does take quite some time to actually build them up and get them up and running. But we'll see. When I say go for Immortals, I mean Robo Opener specifically. We shall see. For now, Tech Lab. We're going straight Tech Lab here. Tech Lab on the factory. From here, we can go into an early Cyclone, into a Cyclone drop initially, then into tank production. Otherwise, there's no shot we add-on swap. The other option would be to go Widowmine. Widowmine into Widowmine drop. Despite the Tech Lab, you can just like fake out aggression. But there it is the Cyclone. Cyclone is on the way. Twilight Council opener out of Classic. Getting a second gateway. And we're expecting more gateways here. Remember, last game, Classic, what did he do? He went 2-gate Blink into a third, but that also coincides with Bunny going for an economic opener. Here, we should not see that at a Classic. We should not see that amount of greed. Okay, extra vax is on the way. Here comes the initial medevac. For the drop. Add-on swap here. That does mean we have access to faster Banshees. I almost said faster Raven. True, I guess. But it does go for the add-on swap. Which means... Oh. Never mind. I assumed it was going to be Starport on the Tech Lab, but it's going to be the Rax instead. Okay, so early stim. Yeah, much earlier stim. This is looking very similar to game 1. And you can see, yep, double gas. Double gas here on 2 bases and a robo on 2 bases as well. Boys are being pulled. So far deflects the Cyclone. But again, Classic, just like in game 1, he is delaying his 3rd base. And again, like I was praising Classic for his build of choice in game 1 as well. Did lose the game, but that was more so about the execution, less so about the build. Has yet more gateways as well. So getting to 4 gateways into Blink, into the Robo. Extra gases, still no expand. So Classic is once again getting ready here for aggression, for an all-in. If we were headed into a macro game, then Classic he'd be falling behind because he shouldn't, or he would need a 3rd. But the 3rd doesn't matter as much here, not in this kind of game state. Hallucination scouts, Hallucination sees early stim. And tank production. And when it comes to this stim timing, Bunny, he may pull the boys again. We'll see if he does go for it. Classic is moving out. Charge on the way. Templar Archives as well. Just like last time, just like game 1, Templar Archives into High Templar. Storm never came into play. He does spot the move out. Oh. And I believe, yeah, he does see the early siege as well. Basically, Bunny, he's hoping to try to catch out the Stalkers. If the Observer wasn't there, then we would just face check and massive shots were going off on the Stalkers. Classic, he does bypass the army, heads into the main. I'm getting deja vu. But this time, Bunny responds. Yeah, this time, Bunny, he responds to this. Stim! Stim is going to survive. Meanwhile, Bunny getting ready on the low ground. But he's not quite in position. He doesn't quite catch the Stalkers. Does beat out 1. It's 1 Stalker going down. Bunny, he could have set a trap here. But playing a safe 3rd CC. Okay, an expansion here. Now, Bunny, he knows that there's an Observer because he knows that the army blinked into the main. Yeah. Do we cancel? Oh, let's go! I was about to say, he knows there's an Observer. It's a fake CC. He does cancel. He sends it across the map. Let's go. And Classic, he expands. Classic, he does expand. Classic, he throws down the 3rd base. Storm is on the way. And Bunny, he's sending it, Pappy. Let's go. The mind games. Of course, the Classic this time he's aware, and you can see he's slowing it down, chipping away at the Marines. So this time he has the high ground. Storm is done. 10 more seconds. And Storm is going to be done in time. Does force the early siege. Again, every second counts. And there we go. The first Storm on SCVs. There's another Storm on the Bio. Tank is getting targeted as Zelsay charge in. Yeah, they collapse on the army, and Classic holds. Classic holds. There's only one tank left. And there's still another Storm. Yeah, the Storm is ready. It was a cheeky move there by Bunny, but again, Classic, he was able to slow it down, able to scout ahead of time. He was ready with the Storm timing, and remember, Classic from the beginning was already getting ready for an all-in. Like Classic, he was already delaying his third base. As we mentioned, like, this has been more trendy. Takes down a full medevac. And Bunny is being shut down. One medevac barely survives, getting into the main. There's 3 Marines and 1 tank and a medevac. That's all we have left. Army gets cleaned up, and Classic holds. He holds, he counterattacks as well, catching reinforcements. Still has Storms left over. Bunny, he has nothing left. Yeah, he's down to 1 tank, no bunkers, and barely any SCVs to pull anyway. So he cannot defend, he cannot protect. So the tank goes down. GG gets called, and Classic, he will take down Bunny 2-1, advancing on to the winners match. GG. Whew. And this is how game 1 should have gone. GG. GG, well played. Again, a Classic from the beginning was playing very, very safe, expecting an all-in. In the end, Bunny didn't meet those expectations. Again, we saw something similar in game 1, and we saw so many differences as well, right? As opposed to game 1, this time Classic, he forced Bunny to run his army back into the main, right? He was buying time, he was delaying the push, he was scouting it, he was able to chip away at it ahead of time as well. This time, Storm was on the way. If you remember, it might have actually been a mistake from Classic, actually, in game 1. Because if you remember, in game 1, Classic did have High Templar, and if you remember, he like feedbacked the medevac. It's possible that he thought that he already had Storm on the way. I didn't bring that up, but it's possible that he thought that he already had Storm on the way, and there was no Storm in game 1, right? It never got researched. It's possible that it was forgotten, and here, of course, he was able to get it ahead of time and have it ready here for the push. So that may have been an oversight from Classic in game 1, as he only had feedbacks. And with that GG, well played, Classic, it does shut down the all-in, and Classic will advance on to face off against Zaun in the next round. Let's go. Let us go. I mean, I just kind of mentioned it here, but switching our scenes over, let's catch up on the bracket. Let's catch up on what has been happening throughout the group. Let's go. Here we go. As from the top here, Zaun, he had a crazy upset here. Cheese the hell out of Hero. Did cheese the hell out of him. And again, to be fair, like, I'm still thinking about that Tokamak game. Hero was also, in a way, like, disrespecting the all-in of Zaun in game 3, when he went for the ninja base. I'm still thinking about that ninja base. God damn it. So Zaun did cause the upset there, taking down Hero. Very impressive. Likewise, Classic took down Bunny 2-1. Was back and forth, was very intense. Also a short series. And now we have our matches here. It's going to be a winner's match between Zaun and Classic. It's going to be the elimination match between Hero and Bunny. Let's go. Let us go. Here we go. Because Prison before it's over, it can get some damage. I mean, ideally you don't want to, it's not about getting damage done when you're in that kind of setup. If you're referring to the last game, it's all about just being as safe as possible, as defensive as you can be. Here we go. Pappy, that was not a Terran push, that was a Terran all-in. Why are you clowning in the chat? He literally pulled the boys. True. Oh no. I think Kamikaze was watching a different game. But with that, we are going to be going on a short break. We're going to be heading off here, and when we come back, we'll be live with the remainder of the broadcast with the winners match, elimination match, and decider match as well. So we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have that PvP between Xian and Classic. See you soon. See you soon after the break.